And sorry, my phone said it was full and it saved that video. But I thought there was no way I could have epilepsy. So the doctor called as soon as she got the results and said, I need you to come into the office right away. And I asked her, I said, do I have a brain tumor? She said, no. I said, it's a brain cancer of any kind. No. I said, am I dying? No. I said, okay, thank you very much. And I never went back to see her. And it wasn't until I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 14. That was 30 years ago. That I kept having all these strange auras. And I was going to a high-risk doctor. She was my fourth child. And I told him that I suspected that I had epilepsy because of what had happened when I was 17. So he sent me immediately to a neurologist who did the same weird thing with the so-called EEG. And she determined it right then and there. She looked at the results while I sat in an office. And she looked at me and she said, oh God, honey, you really do have epilepsy. Why aren't you taking meds for it? I said, because I thought it was impossible that I could get epilepsy. I said, that'll change my whole life. Even though I was pregnant, she put me on Dilantin. I think that's the one. But being stubborn and being pregnant, I weaned myself off of it. I don't recommend anyone ever do that. That is so dangerous, especially if you're pregnant. The doctors know what they're doing. Let the doctors take care of you. And when I went to give birth, the doctor wanted to check my Dilantin levels, and I had to come clean that I hadn't been on them for months because I was afraid that it was getting passed down to the baby. Well, I had a massive seizure before she was a year old, and it affected me terribly. Even then, I didn't want to deal with it. More of my background history. While in denial, I worked 85 hours a week at one point. I worked the midnight shift so that I could then go volunteer at my kids' school. And at the same time, I was taking 3 college classes for surgical nursing. Now, can you picture a surgical nurse that's in denial about her own health? And during surgery, she falls out and has a episode, has a seizure. Thoughtless. I was being and careless and reckless. I was being to not only myself but to other people. I was 85 hours a week. I was taking care of people as a home health aide. And boy, did it backfire. I ended up popping a disc in my lower back. My L5 and S1 are pinched. I guess since I wouldn't slow down and take care of myself. I don't know if it was God that allowed that to happen or made me have to slow down. But I did. I didn't have a choice.